Despite the internet being filled with negative reviews about traveling in India, with most people reportedly leaving the country without smile, this Thai man remained skeptical. He believed that internet reviews were mixed, and as long as one stayed cautious while abroad, things would generally be fine. So, he decided to experience it firsthand and prove something about Indian tourism. As soon as his plane landed in Mumbai, India's largest city, the blogger noticed a haze in broad daylight. After some research, he discovered it wasn't fog at all, it was PM2.5 and other pollutants, which explained the discomfort in his throat while breathing. After storing his luggage at a luxurious hotel costing 140 Thai baht per night, the blogger changed clothes and eagerly set out to explore. He started off friendly, greeting passersby, until a local man in yellow appeared, giving him an uneasy feeling. Initially, the blogger thought they just happened to be walking the same route, but he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Trying to stay calm, he quickened his pace and headed toward more crowded areas. After turning 2 corners, he realized the man in yellow was still behind him, less than a meter away, close enough to bump into if he turned around. Nervous, the blogger ducked into a laundry factory, thinking the man wouldn't follow him with so many locals around. Unexpectedly, the man in yellow spoke up, wanting to show the blogger something interesting on another street. The blogger repeatedly declined, continuing deeper into the laundry factory. However, the man persisted, trying to pull the blogger toward another street. Only when factory workers approached did he finally hurry away. Afraid to retrace his steps in case the man was waiting outside, the blogger ventured further into the factory looking for another exit. To his surprise, the factory was enormous, and he got lost, taking nearly 20 minutes to find a way out. The blogger thought about finding some street food to calm his nerves. After all, anyone would want to go home after such an experience on their first day. Walking through Mumbai's streets, he spotted an old vendor's stall selling some unknown food for just 3 rupees. The incredibly low price convinced him to try. He was amazed as he watched the vendor pile various seasonings onto potato pancakes. Could 3 rupees really buy so much? The portion included 6 pieces, and as the vendor continued preparing it, the blogger couldn't believe how many steps went into making something so cheap. The final product looked and smelled delicious. The blogger carefully sniffed it, finding nothing unusual, and took a bite. It tasted decent, similar to a water-filled sausage with yellow noodles on top. Still impressed by the price, he noted that one portion was quite filling. He asked another vendor for a pineapple juice, expecting fresh squeezed fruit, but found it had an odd sour and salty taste with hints of mold. Despite this, not wanting to waste food, he gulped it down in one go. Shortly after, the blogger began experiencing severe diarrhea and vomit until his lips turned white. He developed a fever and intense headache. Early the next morning, desperately needing medication to keep going, he trudged through several streets and finally found a small shop that sold him some medicine and included a bottle of mineral water. Though hoping his condition would improve, he still felt uncertain and decided to take a taxi to the hospital. Not far into the ride, the blogger urgently asked the driver to stop. He threw up again, feeling on the verge of collapse. Standing by the roadside, he trembled, completely drained of energy. By the time he finished seeing the doctor, it was past 7 in the evening. Exhausted both physically and mentally, he planned to buy some food from a street vendor. As he was talking with the vendor, a strange hand suddenly landed on his shoulder, making him jump with fright. The stranger clearly had bad intentions, inviting the blogger to drink and watch dancing, while repeatedly putting his hand on the blogger's shoulder. The blogger awkwardly explained he was just a tourist who didn't drink, but the man wouldn't leave him alone. Finally, the blogger quickened his pace and escaped the situation.